All righty, here we go. We are live. This is Halloween. Our Halloween Spooktacular. Sorry for the pun, but sometimes they got to be made, right? And well, tonight I was hoping to have a little bit more participation, maybe a chat, some people. We had a lot of retweets and stuff like that, and yeah, here we are. Nobody's in. Oh, we got somebody looking at us. There's somebody over there. It's got eyeballs. Hopefully they'll say hello. Anyway, so they jumped right back out. We had an eyeball for a minute. Oh well. Anyway,
I'm sure they'll come back.
Yeah, well, maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Anyway. A lot of the times you're doing your live stream for future people to watch it, and not always the most participation the day of, but later on, who knows? Plus, I like to re-listen to our love streams and when I'm working in my dead end job.
No, that's right.
Keeps me from going out of my head, man. You know how it is. You get bored enough, your brain starts eating itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. That's just maybe that's the brain of a writer. I don't know. That's just how it is. Anyway, so tonight I thought we'd do some before we get into the ghost stories. I thought we'd kind of do some update a campaign, and find out where somebody is. Any volunteer?
Well, I've been anxious to see what Pete's been working on.
I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go. No. This is your idea, man. I will hunt you down. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're doing these gatherings and we're a crew and we're helping each other and informing each other and eventually we'll be crowdfunding our books and it's like let's let the people know what the hell we're working on. So I got a book.
Yeah.
I got a book I'm working on called Retro. It's a character I created in my late teens, and I've sort of thought about him throughout the years and developed his story. And way back in 2009, I figured I'd bite the bullet and say, hey, it's like I've been working in comics a long time. I should do my own book and put it out there. So I tried to track down an artist. I had one originally, it didn't work out, but I got this artist, which is my friend Rich Fuchsia, who penciled the first issue. I'll be doing everything with issue 2 on, because he's gotten into painting and illustration. But it gives me a good foundation. Like penciling is still something I'm working on my skill. So at least it's like it gives me the groundwork and the foundation, and really, really happy with the way it's turned out. And currently I'm inking. It's been crazy couple of past years, but getting towards the end, I'm on page 22 now of a 28-page story. So not too much longer. Hopefully next week. I wanted to get it done this month, but things never work out as you plan.
Aaron knows a little bit about that.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. But like a brief description, because I don't want to give too much away. It's sort of like inspired by comics I grew up on, anything from the 60s to the 90s. He's stronger than the average person, faster than the average person, heals quicker. He's the master of parkour. He's the protector of the 5 boroughs out in New York. Yeah, I introduce his girlfriend in real life, his day job. He's also has an informant when he's retro, and the villain of this issue is sort of like you barely see, but on this page. But that's Diamond is the villain, and that's sort of it's a little bit it's paying homage to the first comic book store in my old neighborhood, which was Diamond Comics. But it's also a little tongue in cheek because of Diamond Distributors.
Right.
And I'm considering I'm considering doing the cover like the old Marvel DC comics where it has a bunch of text, and considering saying something like "Diamond must die," which is totally directed at Diamond Distributor. But
okay. Yeah, that's little animosity there.
Well, I mean, I never personally worked with them, but I know like when you have a monopoly, things are gonna not work out for the small guys, and that's what we are. And you know, I mean, all of us, as far as I know, are looking towards crowdfunding and getting our book out that way. And I think that's the way to do it right now. Not by going through this big, powerful distributor that takes 70% of your profits. Yeah, like I wanna get this book done this year if everything goes in my favor. I have somebody who's going to help me with layout and putting the book together. After I'm done with the coloring, I'm going to be doing. I mean, the inking. I'm going to be doing lettering. I have somebody who's going to help me with the lettering, which is Carrie Kelly. He comes from Red Handed Studios. He makes his own comics. And yeah, I'm, you know, it's like, I'm really looking forward to, like, initially I did a short 5-day Kickstarter, which was back in 2019, made just under $2,000. But now I know so much more, and I'm going to have the book done. So early next year, I want to say February, but I'm not going to, you know, put anything in stone just yet. But early next year, I'm going to be doing an Indiegogo 30 days. And I really expect to make a pretty penny.
So 30 days and 30 days and no store? Or you just going to do 30 days and that's it?
Well, I mean, for the campaign itself, I'll probably do, you know, in demand afterwards and all that.
Right. Gotcha. Well, about Retro, is he super powered or is he a Batman?
He is. Well, he's stronger than the average person, faster than the average person. He's meta-human, since we can't use superhero. And he is called the First because there will be others in his universe. You know, I do plan to do. I forget how it goes. 6 other characters, so 7 in all.
Oh, okay.
And then there'll be a team book too. I have a couple of artists lined up that already started working on other books for me, and this is something, you know, it's like I'm going to trip my way to get to the schedule I want to get to, which is, you know, if I can put out a new book every 3 months, that would be primo. Yeah, so the superhero universe that I'm creating will be all ongoing, all, you know, like regular schedule kind of thing eventually. Right. But I have, you know, through my company, I'm going to be doing one-shots. I'm going to be doing graphic novels, and a bunch of other things, which is, my studio name is Human Art Studio. So my company, my comic company name is Has Comics Dude.
Yeah, I saw that. Has Comics. Yeah. That's cool. Well, you guys ready for your first ghost story?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right,
do
well,
it.
let's get a little bit of ambiance here. Share a screen. Well, hold on. Where am I at? There it is. Okay. Well,
Don't
let's.
scare me
Nope, not scary. No, hold on. I gotta hit the play. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. I didn't share audio. Damn it! Why do they do that? One second. Let me boomer my way through this right quick. So let's see. Remove that. Now, why don't they make it the default? We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway.
Maybe it's so you accidentally don't get copyrighted.
Yeah.
I know. See, check the button. There we go. You gotta check the little box or whatever. Jeez Louise. All right. Here we go. No? I know. What the heck happened? All right. Oh, okay. Hold on. I shared the wrong tab. Never mind. Let's just do the ghost story. Here we go. We boomered that.
Glad I waited for that.
Yeah, I know. Oh well. All right. Hey, Aaron, why don't you do yours first, man?
Dude. All right. Let me remember how this goes. So, this is actually a true story. This happened back when I was living near a graveyard, actually.
Wow. A graveyard.
Yeah. My mom still lives there. So, it's literally right in the backyard. You go there, and it's a whole bunch of tombstones. So, anyway, it's late at night. I think I just got done playing the Pokemon Go game on the phone. And I was super tired, so I decided to watch a VCR tape before I went to bed. So I finished the whole movie. I fall asleep, and then when I wake up, it's nothing but static on the TV. So at first I think, it's nothing going on. But as soon as I'm about to close my eyes, the tape goes in, and then the tape rewinds all the way to the beginning and plays. So I thought I was pretty freaked out. So I was like, maybe it's a one-time thing. I go to bed. Somehow I wake up 20 minutes later. The movie's done again, and the same thing happens over and over. And I did not go to sleep for a while after that.
Yeah, I imagine so. Holy crap, man. That is crazy. So you live near a graveyard, right? And so your VCR was possessed or something?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, wow. That is crazy, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. You wanna give an update on your campaign? We'll go back to campaign right quick. Oh, there's Lady Valor. Hey, Lady Valor. What's up, lady? All right. Yeah, what's going on with your campaign there, Aaron?
Okay. So far, the book's almost done. I sent it to the colorer. I think last week.
Hold on, Aaron. I gotta show you this. Okay,
this. Go ahead.
You sure Blockbuster wasn't coming over to make sure you rewind?
Like, come on, man.
Oh, Todd's such a jackass. I love him.
Don't forget now.
Be kind. Rewind. Anyway. Oh goodness. Yeah, you were saying you had to do something. You had to change your.
Yeah, the campaign's almost done. I sent it to my colorist last week. I also sent it to the letterer. I'm just waiting for the final 2 pages to be lettered. Then we can go ahead and ship it out to ship it out to the Indiegogo people who backed first. And then in December, because for December I'm still waiting on the Gastani piece.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once he's done, I can get everything finalized. I already reformatted most of the pages.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds tedious.
Definitely tedious, man.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try this one more time and share audio. And if it doesn't work, it's all right. Get the right one. There we are. Okay. There we go. Now we got the campfire.
Set the mood.
I don't have the. Hold on. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. It's not working. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway.
I hear
it. Oh, you do?
I heard.
Okay. Well, my friend Craig, I'm gonna bring him on. Nope. All right.
Nice.
All right. He's not ready. He's not ready yet. Okay. My grandpa told me this story. Anyway, but this we live in the whole area. Surprise. I know that's a shock to you, but there's a place near me that's about the most uninhabited county in all of my state, North Carolina. It's called Polk County, named for James K. Polk. Well, there's a place inside Polk County called Polk Ridge. My grandpa tells me that his grandpa told him this story about the time right before the Confederacy. This lady came to live in the woods at Polk Ridge, and there was nothing else up there, nothing else around her. And here she was, an unaccompanied female at that time, so of course she was kind of getting some people were concerned, so so they went to visit her to find out what was going on with her. And she invited them in. She was all nice and sweet, and offered them some milk. And she had to go and get it from the cold house. And she gets a broom out, puts it on the floor, steps over the floor or over the broom, and walks out. And the 2 men couldn't move. They were just frozen in place, and absolutely frozen in place. And she came back with the milk, and stepped over the broom, and suddenly they could move again. And she didn't get to handle the milk because they were out the door, Anyway, so from then on. Yeah, so from then on, she was considered a witch. They didn't know where she came from. She never told anybody where she came from. So the rumor was that maybe she came from Salem. Anyway, that it was just less than 80 years after the Salem witch trials. So there's a possibility that she came from there. But she was in that community for a long time, and every time somebody you have a witch in the community, every time something comes up, she gets blamed. But everybody was terrified of her, so nobody would confront her about it. But one night, a guy was out hunting, and he got caught out in a storm, and it was just a really bad storm. It's just he was an old hunter from way back, so storms didn't usually concern him, but this one was so bad that he went looking for the first shelter he could find, and he saw her cabin, and so he ran. He's like, which be damned, this is bad, I need to get out of it, and so he runs and cabin bangs on the door for a long time, and she never came to the door, but the door kind of creaked open. And so, the lightning struck and scared him. So he went in, and he called for her and called for her. He was not an acquaintance with her, so it wasn't, entirely out of place. But he goes back to the bedroom, which was where the only light was. And he saw her laying on the bed, and she had this big old black cat that everybody was just like worried about, because the thing was, some people thought it was part panther. The thing was so big. Anyway, she's laying there on her bed asleep, and that thing is on her chest, and it's like, the whole thing about cats steal your breath, that thing like that. And so he tried to shoo the cat off, and the cat completely ignored him. And so he tried to shove the cat off, and the thing was built like a brick house. He couldn't even move it. And so he grabs this chair that was nearby the bed, because she was like gasping for breath. And he's like, that cat's killing her. And so he took a chair and broke it over that cat. And the cat just turned and hissed at him, and its eyes glowed. And he got the heck out of Dodge. He said, okay, the storm ain't so bad anymore. So he runs back out to the storm. And eventually he makes his way into town. And he waits the daylight, and he goes and gets some townspeople to go with him, and they go up to see if she's still alive, and they find her cold, and they couldn't find that cat anywhere, but she was cold when they got there, and so they wound up burying her up on that ridge. But that was a story my grandpa told me around. So it's funny. It was around Christmas time he told me that story. So, not exactly a Christmas story, but yeah, he told us that story. That was that freaked me out to this day. That freaked me out. But cool. That's one of my stories right there. Anyway, yeah. All right. I guess I'll give a little bit of a campaign update. Let me open this. Let me open this up right quick. All right. Okay. I think it's taking a little while to open it up. There we go. Yeah. Okay. This computer's just being a butthole today. Yeah. I don't know if there's an update or something that's happened. You know how it is. You do an update and your computer just is fragged until they fix it.
Every time, man.
Yeah. Anyway, switch the browser view. All right. I got it. Okay, so I'm share screen, and go to window and share.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. There he is. What What do you think, guys?
Again, it's only showing like a bit of it.
Oh, really?
Part of it, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me try this again.
Gotta love technology, right?
I know. Let's see. Try this again. All right. We'll just leave it like that. But yeah. Yes, that's what yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I was geeking out when he showed it to me. He said he said he really liked it, so there's a possibility I might get on the collage of characters.
Nice.
That would be cool.
Oh, cool.
I haven't seen the patriotic one, so I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping that he'll pick mine. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool though.
So who's this character? Tell
this is
the story.
Okay. All right. This in my world when America got founded, a young guy, Irish immigrant, was the first one in America to gain powers. Now there's been powers in the world, but they've been like the Greek gods and people like that. You know, Beowulf and
Right.
great warriors of old. But he was the first American to ever gain powers. And because of that, and the fact that he defended America against the British invaders, and their chief expressor was a man by the name of called himself Red Death, and he killed at a touch. But he fought Ironsides, and Ironsides wound up killing him. And but because he almost died. He actually died doing it. That was the first time he died, but he actually revived and came back and killed Red Death, and so after that he became. They wrote him into the Constitution, into the very Bill of Rights, that he was like outside of the government, but he was like the liaison between to protect the government against these powered people. And so he had like complete carte blanche. He was outside of the system basically, and
Right.
but he died 8 more times over the years defending America. And every time he died, he came back. Yeah, well, every time he died, he came back slightly different, slightly changed. He was a different person, you know. And so he actually died. What's that?
I dig it.
Yeah. But then after the 9th time, he got ambushed. He and his team. He had a team called the Freedom Five, and they got ambushed at Area 51. And part of the ambush, to try to keep him from like returning from the dead, they decided to transform him into this crystal. That they were using this ray that crystallizes things, you know. They didn't really know how it worked because it's alien technology. But he managed to block it with his hand, but part of it came through and hit his eye. But he blocked it with his right hand, and it turned his arm up to crystal up to his elbow. And so he was basically useless. The arm was useless, and his eye was, you know, he couldn't see out of it. And so they retired him. But they used his retirement and the uncertainty to pass the 28th Amendment to the Constitution, which basically created this organization, the federal organization, the FERA, to take over regulating powered people. And they gave him a commission, you know, passing it off that he could still be useful to protect America. But then they stuck him in a desk job, and then they wrote him out of history.
But, oh man,
that's kind of suck.
Yeah, but since he aged slower than normal, he had that desk job for 45 years. basically before he some little snot nose ticked him off so bad that he just quit. But in the course of that, he figured out that he could move his hand again, and not only that, but he was way more powerful than he was before, almost frighteningly so. And so my book is about him coming out of retirement to try to thwart the organization that was behind him getting crippled in the first place. And
well, sounds neat, man.
Yeah. He's my favorite thing I've ever written. I dig him. But that's just incredible. I really 6 a.m. is just a genius. He really is.
Whose idea was it for the George Washington motif?
That was mine. Nice. Yeah, I just thought it was cool. Anyway, so I'll see if my friend is ready to tell his story.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't hear any people. I do theater. I don't hear people.
It's in my earbud.
Put that in my ear. Oh.
It's okay. He's freaking out. I had to. Can you hear him? Say hello.
Hello.
This is the voice in your head.
Hello.
How are you doing?
All right. Okay.
See, I've done film. I've done television.
Yeah.
And I've mainly done a lot.
Let me move and let him sit here. Come on, Craig. Have a seat, Daddy.
Okay, I'm crawling through the rubbish.
All right, this is Craig.
Hi there.
Not that.
Where's that? There is no Craig. I don't know. There's a drop box on the screen. Would you get rid of that?
Okay.
That?
Yeah. Let me. All right, move that.
I can't see myself. I don't know.
Okay.
Where's my mark?
All right.
That's a rabbit.
Okay. Well, it looks like I accidentally disconnected the camera.
I can see you. I'll introduce myself. I'm Craig.
Yeah.
And you are?
Okay.
No.
Introduce
I'm
yourself,
Adam.
guys.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Aaron. Nice to meet you.
I'm Peter. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. Well, let me get the camera back on. I accidentally unplugged it. Hold on.
We're professionals.
He's being a jerk right now. I know.
Who, me?
Just, all right. Let me. Nope, it's not working.
Let me order my dinner real quick.
Okay. Alrighty. Not turning on.
Yo,
Oops.
what's going on?
Aaron's
So
in
I guess
charge.
this is my yeah. So I guess it is our stream now. What's going on, everybody?
That's right.
All right.
Now we can spam the channel. No. So I really love the you showed us in private the cover. I really love the cover, the way your book came out.
Oh, dude, it is great. Oh, I don't know
Is
if I
that
can.
is
do
that
it
the
now.
same? Is that the same art as the interior, or is it a different artist?
Oh, it's a different artist. It's meant to be like
okay.
a variant cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
the dude's really good. So he gave me, as you already saw, he gave me like 3 different drawings. So I was thinking I can only do like one for the what was it? The Kickstarter? Yeah, I can only do one for that. So I like all 3 so much that I'm just gonna release the other 2 on my website, or I'm gonna have it as a Indiegogo tier.
Right.
Yeah.
Lady Vala says Wolfie show now. Heck yeah.
No.
Oh, hey, they're back.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Prodigal son returns.
Now I understand. I'm a visual person, so I can see people now. So.
Okay. All right. You can see. Can you hear him?
Yeah,
You hear him pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, continue. You guys were talking. Don't interrupt you.
This is professional, guys. This is just professional. This is like a live TV here, you know. We're gonna do it live. Let's do it live. Oh, we suck. We suck. All right.
Yeah, that worked in more of the worlds.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I invited Craig here today to tell his story. Craig actually, when he was 6, his father was moving him around all his life. Moved him into a.
Oh, I'll tell the story.
He'll tell the story.
Tell the story. No, he said he wanted me to tell a ghost story. So when I first met Stephen, I told him this story one night when the power had gone out and we were hanging out, and it really freaked him out. So he wanted me to share it with some other people. But when I was 6, my family moved out of the town area, and we moved about 12 miles outside of town into the country, and this was true country. It was a dirt road, a great house on this dirt road, but it was about 3/4 of a mile one way and a mile the other way to anything, except there were 2 abandoned houses. God only knows how long they've been abandoned along the way. And we moved in this great house. Yes, this is very Amityville horror stuff. And it is scary because it did happen to us, to my family. We got there. This was 1966. I was in 1st grade. And I was taken away from my teacher, who I loved so much, Miss Maudlin. I only had a couple of months with her, and they moved me out into the country to a bad school with a horrible teacher. So that's the real ghost story. But no. No, the ghost story really happened in the house that we moved into. It was a rental property before my parents had bought a house, and only thing that was in there was a maple rocking chair with these pillow backs and thin pillow seats on the slabs where you sat. And the first night that we were there, my sisters were in that room. They put that in her room, my sister's room, because they thought, well, that's a very nice, pretty antique rocker. And it decided to rock. And it would rock regularly.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And also just a lot of weird things happen. I'll just do a list of some of the strange things that happened in the house. A lot of it was centered around my sister, Marilyn. She's the younger of my sisters. I'm the baby of 5. And
she was the Carol Ann.
Yeah, exactly. I know that does sound so Hollywood, but it really, she experienced a lot more of the stuff. And we would have thought that she was just weird, except we all, or almost all of us, things happened to or we saw. The lists include in that same bedroom, there was a closet. And you open the closet, and if you push the clothes aside, there was a piece of particle board sheetrock that you could move, and it would go into the attic, the rest of the attic that was there. And then there was an upper attic, and there was no electricity. There was no flooring. If you went in there, and we stored things up there. My mom was a pack rat, and she stored any nook and cranny that she could. And you had to walk on the rafters. Well, that door would open and slam.
Yeah.
By itself.
On its own. Yeah.
Other things in the front bedroom upstairs that I shared with my brother, he heard knocking in the corner, and there was what we call here in the South, a little whatnot stand in the corner with a couple of trinkets on it, and it flew off the wall. At the double windows, I saw a face, a glowing outline face, and it said, "Hi, hello." I tore downstairs, and I slept downstairs in the den for the next 2 years until I got brave enough to go back up.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
And something that aforementioned closet door in my sister's bedroom, it opened up and she heard footsteps going back and forth, back and forth. Her best friend was spending the night with her, and it would walk by the bed, across the floor, and go back to the closet, and did it several times. And then something sat on the bed. They flew downstairs screaming. They joined me sleeping in the den, and my sister slept with me in the den until she left home and got married.
Oh boy.
Okay. Well, the story that I really wanted to tell you is
oh, I know.
They call it the second Winky.
Okay.
You want me to set it up for you?
When we had first moved there, I was out playing with, as I said, I was the youngest of 5 siblings. One was 5 years older, next 6 years older, 9 years older, and 10 years older. So I was definitely the little bothersome child. And when we go out and I want them to play with me, like I said, we lived in the middle of nowhere. So I relied on my siblings to play with. So they decided that we would play hide and seek. And so I'm counting with my eyes closed, and my sister is running behind a little grove of trees and looking for a place to hide. And my brother, Johnny, comes up behind her and puts his hand on her shoulder, and she turns around and looks at him and says, "Let's go inside and start watching television. He'll be out here for an hour looking for us." And Johnny shook his head, yeah. And then Marilyn peered around a tree to make sure I hadn't opened my eyes up, and Johnny was running across the pasture across the road, like a football field away.
And
And he was still behind her.
Hand was still on her shoulder.
Thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I was 6, but I remember that because she started screaming and running the house, and my mother was like, I think my mother was about to slap her, like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. But it was a weird place. And like I said earlier,
she told the story to me, and she tells it way better than we do. But if you've seen the looks in her face when she tells that story, the earnestness, I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that happened. I have no doubt in my mind. And the strange thing about that is she swears that her brother, who later suffered from schizophrenia, started acting strange after that. So he later suffered a really bad case of schizophrenia, but she believes he started acting strange after that.
Now, my sister has recently brought up to me Gilbert. Gilbert was a chicken.
Yeah.
And she thinks that he was actually possessed, that there might have been a demon in him. Quick story about Gilbert. When I survived that, my older sister had moved out and gotten married. And for Easter, she decided to buy us what we call here in the South Easter dibs, those little peeps, dyed colors. So she got one for my sister Marilyn and one for me. Marilyn's was a blue one, and it turned out it was a boy, so she named him Gilbert. Mine was a yellow one. I named her Sharon. Well, my sister killed Sharon accidentally by feeding her raw dough, so she choked to death. So then Marilyn felt so bad and decided that she told me, "You can have half of Gilbert." Well, Gilbert turned into a demon chicken. I mean, seriously, I was so scared. I spent 2.5 years out on that dirt country road, afraid to go outside because of the chicken.
Yeah.
And I'm still afraid of chickens.
Yeah. He treed Craig for, he came off the bus. He was walking home from school.
No, I didn't walk home. No, school bus. Got home from school on the bus. I still had 2 siblings in school with me on the bus normally, but both of them had spent the night with friends. So I was by myself. I waved bye to my friends and everything. And it was drizzling rain. It rained all day. And out there in North Carolina, red dirt, mud, clay dirt. And I get off the bus turns around, leaves, and I start to go into the house, and here comes Gilbert. He kept me out there for about an hour. I could not get inside. I'm screaming for help. He went into the backyard and I made a mad dash for it. And I threw the door open, covered in mud. I had a skint place on my arm, and threw my books across the room. My mom looked at me, and I said some things that I cannot say even on YouTube to my mother. Yeah. I begged her forgiveness later.
Well, the ultimate end of Gilbert came when the first grandchild got spiked by him.
Yeah, the spurs went in my niece Shannon's head. When she was about 2 years old.
They were afraid that he'd like poked her eye out at first, and then they asked Craig for permission to kill Gilbert.
Kill it!
and then they when they ate him, Craig.
Oh hell no!
Craig hated that.
I'm not gonna eat that. He wasn't gonna
eat that thing.
Would you eat a demon chicken?
I don't know.
Hell, I don't even like KFC anymore. They suck now.
That might be the ultimate Nashville hot though. Demon chicken.
Good point.
Anyway, so I wanted him to come. He's told me all these stories before, but that's incredible. I mean, that literally lived in the Amityville horror house. I mean, literally.
It's fun.
Nice.
Good times.
Place burnt down, though.
Right after we moved out.
Right after they moved out.
They wanted my mortal soul. I wasn't there. We're done with this place. It's trash.
Anyway, so that's Craig's story. Yeah. Anyway, anybody? Peter, you got your story?
Yeah. I mean, it's not real horror, but
okay.
Way back when I was young, I got a pet for Christmas. So I got a white cat. And I guess I was really young. I remember getting the cat for Christmas, and I don't remember much after that until after the cat passed away. And so I lived in a 2-story house in Brooklyn, and we had a full basement. It was not fully done. Like the 2/3 of it was finished, but the back section was like room, laundry, and just storage.
Right.
And I remember going down there, and it's like the light switches were in odd places, so I didn't always turn on the lights. I guess I was going there to find a shirt or something or another, whatever. And I see something, like I barely see anything, but I see something white kind of floating in the air. And it's like, I didn't know what it was. I'm kind of freaking out. I'm just a little kid in the dark basement. And I start walking to the stairs, and I look back, and on the ground following me is the cat. It was like, it was after it passed away, so it was like, I'm seeing things or something.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, that's. Jeez Louise, man, that's a good one. Hey, AP, man, what's up, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, you finally made it in. You got a ghost story, man?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorry, I thought it started at 7, so I was ready for.
Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
you're good, man.
yeah, that's all right. That's all right. No big deal. You're here now. You got a ghost story for us, man?
A few actual ghost stories, actually.
Oh,
One is from working at the Banff Springs, and that's an ancient castle up in Banff. One of the Fairmont hotels. They have a fancy one in most of the big cities. It's like a castle hotel.
Yeah.
And this one carries. I don't have a personal experience, but it's just a pretty good ghost story. It's one of those ones where a guy kills his wife and kid, like 100 years ago, because it's an ancient castle hotel.
Right.
They had to rebuild the rooms back up again because none of them could fit air conditioning. Like the windows were built to be tiny to fit for like the fashion. Anyway, I'm rambling here. The point is, he kills his wife and his daughter, and then does something to himself. I can't remember exactly, but every now and then, when somebody goes to this very specific room, handprints will show up on the glass of the shower, or the mirror in the bathroom, which like as if there's condensation kind of thing. And there's a couple other things I can't remember exactly, but they won't rent the room out, which is pretty wild because it's like $500 a night that they're losing. That's usually booked all year long.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. That's more impressive than mine, personal. But the closest I have to a personal one is I was living in a place, and the washing machine had a lid that held itself up, right? And it like clicked in place. You couldn't budge it down without moving the thing. And a couple times when I was upstairs alone, the door would slam down, which I couldn't get it to do with force.
Oh, wow, really?
Most likely would have to a ghost story because it's inexplicable. But unless there's a ghost in the washing machine, just the washing machine.
Right.
I mean, how else are you going to keep the sheets white?
I suppose. Insane.
And the sock monster.
Right. Well, anybody else got one? Well, this one's not mine. There's a rapper named Tom McDonald, and he was going to go on a video shoot. Me and Craig watched this one, but we were going to go on this video shoot or he was going to go on this video shoot, and there was this place. I tried to look it up right quick, but I couldn't find it. But it's it's like reputed to be the most haunted place in North America, and it decided and the videographer decided that's where they wanted to shoot their video, and so they went up to this place and said it was I think in Saskatchewan, but it's this place. It's out in the middle of nowhere. There's this town located there, and I can't remember the name of it though. I tried to find out the name of it, but I can't remember the name of it. But they went into this town, and it's completely deserted. It's been deserted for I guess they said about 20-25 years or something. And while they were like going through this place, and it just completely deserted, and the wind's whistling and all this other stuff. It's the creepiest place, And he said this young couple just suddenly came out of this house that they were passing, and he said they looked kind of manic, kind of a little wild-eyed, and they were like, well, if you go in his house, just make sure make sure you're careful because these floors are weak. And they're like, oh, okay, well, thank you. And he said they left, but he said that they left pretty fast. They didn't really see where they went, that they just left. And well, while they were looking for this place to do a video shoot, and they saw this building, right? This cement building. And so they went to see what that was, and the cement building had like a stairway down. And I don't know why. I mean, me personally, I never would have done this, but they went down in there, and it turned out it was like a medical facility down there, and it was like and there was like tunnels that just went for miles. It seemed like, and they figured out that these tunnels led underneath all the houses, and they think later on he discovered that these tunnels were to cart away people that died of tuberculosis.
Yeah.
So people that lived there wouldn't get upset, and so these tunnels led up to all these houses, right? And so he said they did their video shoot, and it was eerie, it was crazy, but it was like he said we got it done, and we were like we went all the way back to the SUV. He says, and we got there. And the videographer realized that he had left a several $1,000 light behind in their haste to get out of there. And he since it was his car and he had the keys, he refused to move until they got the light. Dang. And they're like, okay, well we'll wait here while you get the light. And the guy's like, oh no, I'm not going back in there. This is this is your shoot, so you go get the light. So his friend lost the rock paper scissors, but he's like, I can't let you go by yourself. So they went in there, and he said by this time it was dusk, right? And he said that they went right. They went back. They thought where it was, so they went back in those tunnels where they were before, and said that they eventually they discovered the light. And he said they were heading their way back, and he said suddenly this eerie feeling came over him, and he said it came over his friend at the same time because both of them just stopped, and they didn't say a word to each other, but he says both of them turned and looked into this room. And it's like whatever both of them were sensing it at the same time. And he says, and this darkness was in that room. And it says, and it stood up. And it was taller than them. and he says that I don't remember the next like half an hour of my life because we were just running, man. He was just running. He and his friend were just running, man. And he says eventually they stopped and like realized that okay, that they passed these railroad tracks, and they're like, okay, well, he's like, what was that, man? He's like, I don't know what that what was, but we're getting the hell out of here. He says, and surprisingly, they held on to the light, and so they made their way back to the SUV, and they got in it and got the hell out of there. He says, but later on, he found out when he did research on this place to find out where the hell was I and what the hell was that, But he said he discovered that this young couple had fallen through the floors in one of the houses and had died.
Mm-hmm. Dang.
So you need to look it up. It's Tom McDonald telling a ghost story, but you need to look it up. He tells it way, way, way better than I just did. But it was eerie. Anyone else got one?
Honestly?
Yeah?
Nah.
I got something. I mean, like I had for the most part, I don't have errors. Like this isn't necessarily a ghost story, but it's related, I guess. So like once again, my basement for my home.
Yeah.
The
that's a hell of a basement, Peter.
My yeah, I know. It's like don't go in the basement. I never learned. But my father always wanted me to help him out. Like the furnace had to be, like you had to pour water into it, and it had to be a certain level. There was a little gauge on the side of it.
Yeah.
And the furnace was freaking loud especially when it turned on. The flame came on. It was like a fire way in the back of it, like, and it had this like bars, like prison bars and door, and it just looked really scary. And I remember falling asleep one night and you know, like my dreams are usually scattered. Like it would be like multiple scenes and go from one thing to another. And in the last sequence was that I had to, you know, my father asked me to go put some water in and make sure it's at the level on the gauge. And so in the dream, I go down into the basement, and of course everything's mostly dark, and I go there, and you know, I have to let the bad water out first. There's a little knob at the bottom of it, and I'll let the bad water out, and I get a bucket of fresh water. You know, go to the sink and fill up the bucket and pour it into where it goes. And as the furnace turns on, I look into the flame, and it's my father, and he's running towards me, inflamed, in the dream.
Huh.
And it freaked me the fuck out.
That would do it.
I imagine it would. Well, I live in a county that's known for its like supernatural occurrences. It's got like a reputation. The county used to reach all the way into Tennessee, but it's shrunk down quite a bit. But we still got like a lot of places. But one of the places happens to be it's called the Brown Mountain Lights.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Walmart.
Not Walmart. No.
I was there today. It was scary.
Yeah, it's scary at Walmart. But anyway, that's a ghost story for another time. Anyway,
sorry.
That's more of a zombie thing, though. Anyway, this place it's the most stable visual phenomenon on the planet. We have like parapsychologists that come and you know, whatever they are. I can't remember the name of them, but they're supernatural investigators that have come and over the years, and there's like videos. You can actually find videos of it on the net. I mean, it's so stable that there's actual videos of it. But my stepbrother, who is a crazy like horror movie fan, and his name is Jason, okay, and he literally has every Jason Voorhees figurine you can imagine. I mean, that's his hero, okay. I mean, yeah, I grew up with that guy, but anyway, but he used to go up to Brown Mountain with his friend who had an uncle that lived up there, and they would go up there and they would try to see the lights. They would try to see the Brown Mountain lights. And this guy, he didn't scare at all. I mean, we used to go to like haunted houses and stuff, and it never fazed him at all. You know, he was actually bored by it in a lot of ways. But one night they went up there, and he came home early. He usually didn't come home that Sunday, you know, but he came home that Saturday night. And he was white as a sheet. I've never seen him like that. He wouldn't talk about it. But he I knew they were looking for the lights up there. And to this day, I don't know if he found them or not, but whatever he saw, he was white as a sheet. And I mean, whether they're supernatural or a natural occurrence, I mean, there's debate and everything like that. But whatever he saw scared the crap out of him. And so that's not really my ghost story to tell, but he won't tell anybody what he saw. So it's not really able to tell that one. But
you probably saw my Aunt Marge.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if you go looking for something, you better be prepared to catch it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, one last story from me.
But actually, I need to excuse myself and call my sister. So
okay,
he's not excusing himself.
Yeah,
he's still on.
All right.
Nice to meet you guys.
See you guys.
Good chatting with you.
Oh.
All right.
Nice to meet you. Take care.
Great.
Well, this is more of a comedy than it is a ghost story, but here I am. I'm in this city, and it's like one of the most haunted places in North Carolina. We've got like the ghost hunters coming to my city and everything, and well, I found out that uptown there was going to be this lady that was going to give like a ghost tour or whatever, and supposedly it was written by somebody or other that like did research and everything. And so we show up at the place that we're going to rendezvous, and she shows up dressed in little kitty ears and a fairy dress. And so I'm like, okay, this isn't encouraging, okay? But the funny thing about it was I knew more about this stuff than she did. And so Craig was laughing at me because she was like, say stuff. We'd go by this building and I was like, yeah, there was a ghost in that one. Yeah, there's a ghost sightings in that one. We're just walking right by them. But the funniest one, and this is the one that really ticked me off, was here we are, we're crossing the street, and she says, and look over here, there's a music store beside a sweet store. So we better watch for brownies. And
like the fairy? Or like
the fairies, yeah. And she's like, we're gonna watch for brownies. And I'm like, oh my God. Craig's laughing at me because I'm like losing my shit. Because every time we walked by, she was like, mind the grate, and mind the curb, mind the grate, and so we get to this one stop. It's towards the end of the tour or whatever, and there's this lady that believed herself to be a witch, whether she was a witch or not. But I knew her personally because my grandmother's was friends with her, and she started talking about, this witch and this terrifying witch that you got to be careful around and whatever, and I was like, Joanne Denton. And everybody's kind of looking at me. She's like, and her name is Joanne Denton. I was like, oh my God. But it was funny because people were starting like looking at me like, is there something happened here? I was like, yeah, let me tell you about it, because I just took over the tour. But it was just ridiculous, man. She's like, oh, we better watch for brownies. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I mean, that's why you never let an SJW, furry run your Halloween, journey, whatever. Anyway, but I guess we'll need a little bit of levity after the heavy topics. Anyway, what you up to these days, AP? You got any campaigns or anything you're working on?
Oh no. Canada's crazy.
Canada's crazy.
Just trying to
oh yeah.
How crazy is it?
Speechlessly so. It's
yeah. Zevius has told me some stuff.
That Saskatchewan province you were talking about, they're bringing in the military to help out, fill in the places, the positions that we just fired everybody from for the vaccinated thing. I don't want to make things political, but I have to. One of the things that's included in Saskatchewan, is that, emergency powers hold that any health expert, from like a doctor on like any position, whatever that holds, they can have you quarantined, your kid quarantined from you, your property quarantined from you, your house. They can burn your crops. And there's military now in there sitting around, and they can. I don't know what crops have to do with transmission of respiratory virus. But
oh my gosh, that's dystopian.
It's complete madness. It's complete madness. Totally insane. Yeah.
Goodness
so I'm not
gracious.
drawing much lately.
I feel that.
Learning to garden indoors and things like that.
Oh, okay. Well, that Moon Knight Joker one that you put out was really incredible.
Thanks.
You guys need to.
I didn't even see that one.
I put the colors up. I haven't done the background yet.
Oh wow.
Doesn't
nice.
See it off the camera, really. But
yeah, hold on.
Very
hold
cool.
on. Let me.
I can see it. Pretty lit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'll put up in the chat.
Who's winning?
Thanks. Probably the fish.
Yeah. Yeah, Joker's got a fish he's beating him to death with. This is comment from Lady Valor. Thank you, lady. Oh man. Yeah, I was getting up to let him by, and I hit the USB that had the camera, and it just like completely cut me out, and I had to figure out, okay, where did I turn it back on? Yeah. Anyway, that's what we're so professional around here. But anyway, that's a good stopping point. But thank you guys for coming and putting up with my shenanigans.
No, you good, man.
So anyway, so yeah, anybody get any decent chills tonight? I got a few.
Oh,
I got a few. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Okay. All right, guys. We'll just conclude with that tonight. You guys have a great Friday night, and I'll see you later.
Later, guys.
Bye, lady.
Take care.
Bye. Bye, guys.